I'll be using scrap yarn that's been sitting around in my house. So I'll be mixing a lot of colors together. The yarns are medium weight, so you can use any medium weight yarn that you have. I'll be using my 3mm crochet hook. I'll need a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, and a darning needle. The sweater dress is made in 2 separate panels that are joined together, and I've already worked one. This is the edging at the bottom of the dress, and it's a very simple pattern. We're only going to be using the double crochet stitch, and as you can see, I've mixed the colors and they're looking perfectly good. So I'm going to show you how to make the other panel, and then I'll show you how to join the 2 panels together to get the oversized dress. I'm making this in baby size. I'm making for a girl that is 7 years old, and the measurements that I used are 17 by 23. So the length is 23, the width is 17. You're going to need to take the measurement of around your shoulders, then the measurement on your bust, and the measurement on your hips, and then you're going to select the largest of them. So like if your hips are 40, your bust is 34, your shoulders is saying 34, then you're going to go with 40. Then that biggest measurement, you're going to add 5 inches to it because you want something oversized. So in case your biggest measurement is 40, you're going to take 40 plus 5 so that you get 45. And then the panel will be divided into 2. So you're going to take, let's say, 45 divided by 2, and you're going to get 22.5. Or if it's, say, 30 plus 5, that's 35. 35 divided by 2, that will be 17.5. So I'm working with 17 by 23. And for the 17 inches, I worked a total of 70 chains. I'll begin with a slip knot and a chain of 69. So 69 will give me the 17. Now make a chain that is half of the measurement that you've obtained. I have my 69 chains, and then I'm going to hold the 69th chain and then chain 3 more. Then go back into the 69th chain with a double crochet. And at this point I have 2 double crochets on my foundation chain, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch to the end of this first row. And at the end of this row I'll have a total of 70 double crochets. I have my first row done of double crochets, so we're going to begin row 2, and we'll begin by chaining 3, and then turn your work, and we're going to work row 2, and the first stitch, the first chain 3 acts as the first double crochet, so we're not going to go into the first stitch, we'll go into the second stitch with a double crochet, and then the next stitch will get a double crochet, and the rest of the stitches will each get 1 double crochet to the end of row 2. At the end of row 2, do not forget the stitch on top of the chain stitch. I've just gone into this second last stitch, and it may look like it's the last stitch, but there's a stitch on top of the chain 3 stitch, so do not forget to go into that stitch with a double crochet. And then you're going to chain 3 and turn the work to begin row 3. Row 3 is the same as row 2, and all the other rows will be worked the same way we've worked row 2. So 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get your desired height. At least until you get your desired height minus 3, because the 3 inches will go to the edging part. Let me just show you. So there's this edging at the bottom of the panel, and it's about 3 inches. There, it's 3 inches, and therefore if your length is 25, you're going to work 25 minus 3, which is 21. Mine is a total of 23, and therefore I'm going to work a panel that is 20 inches. To do that, I worked a total of 42 rows. So go on, make your number of rows, or the total number of rows that is going to give you the full length of your dress minus 3 inches. I've worked my 42 rows, and I'm going to measure just to make sure that I'm at 20 inches, and that's 20 inches. Now what's left to do is the edging, and that's the edging right here. This part of the bottom part of the sweater. What we're going to do is, to do the edging, I'm going to chain 1 at the end and cut off the yarn, and I'm going to do the edging separately and then attach it using the darning needle. So I'll begin with a slip knot and make a chain of 15. And for the edging, you want to take the number of stitches that you had in your panel. Like in my case, I had 70, and I'm going to take 70 minus 25, which is going to give me 45. So if you had 90, subtract 25. If you had 50, subtract 25, and you're going to remain with. So whatever number of stitches you had, subtract 25, and then that's the number of rows for the edging that you're going to work. So chain 15, 3, 4, 5. I have my 15 chains, then I'm going to chain 1 more, then go into the 15th stitch and work a half double crochet stitch, and then 1 half double crochet into every other stitch. At the end of the row, you should have 15 half double crochets. That's the first row done. To begin row 2, chain 1 and turn. And we're going to be working in the back loop. So yarn over, go into the back loop of the first stitch and work a half double crochet into the next back loop, half double crochet, and work 1 half double crochet into each of the back loops to the end of row 2. At the end of row 2, you should have 15 half double crochets. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 3, then again work 1 half double crochet into the back loops, and you're going to work a total of the number of rows you had minus 25. In my case, I'm working 45 rows of half double crochet rows. So work your rows, and I'll meet you once you have the edging band, and then I'll show you how to connect the band to the panel. I have the band ready, and I'm going to get the panel and attach it to the band. So this is the part where the band goes. You're going to need a darning needle. I've left a long tail in order to use it to weave this band, or to weave the edging to the panel. As you can see, the edging is a bit shorter than the panel, and that is the idea. Then you're going to get a stitch marker and mark this final part, just to ensure that you're aligning your stitches together. And then get the darning needle and put your tail through. Then just attach by weaving this end. So this first end right here goes to the first stitch right there, and you're just going to weave these together until you get to this point. You'll need to stretch your edging in order for it to be of the same size with the panel, and just weave that tail proportionately. Just ensure that the stitches are aligning correctly. And so I'm going to weave like this till I get to this last point right here. I've attached the up to the end, so at this point I'm going to put a knot, and then I'll weave in the end. I'll hide the tail, the remaining tail, inside the stitches. I have my two panels ready right here, and I've just marked the points where I'm going to leave out the armhole. For a baby armhole, I've left 7 inches. If you're working an adult armhole, you may need to leave between 8 to 9 inches. So I've marked 7 inches from the top and on that side, and 7 inches on the other side. Then I've counted 10 stitches on this side on top and 10 stitches on the other side. I'm leaving a wide neck because I want this to be kinda slouchy, like one arm should be hanging, and that's why I'm leaving a very wide neck. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my yarn and I'm going to weave this side, or I'm going to connect these two panels together at this point. I'll connect at this point, then I'm going to connect from here all the way down, and then from the other stitch marker all the way down. So I'm just going to get my yarn and connect these two panels together. I'll start from the stitch marker. You can start here or from the bottom. Let me start from the bottom of the sweater, and you're just going to ensure that you align the stitches together for both panels, and then just sew them together. I've joined all the important parts, and this is what we have: the armhole, the neckline, the armhole on the other side, and I'm going to turn this to the right side. So this sweater dress can be worn on either side. Either side can be the front or the back part of the sweater. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, can like it, please comment, please subscribe, and follow me on my social media pages. I've left the links to my pages in the description box. Kindly check them out and follow me. When you get to recreate this, kindly tag me onto your projects, and I'm going to repost all your posts. Thank you so much. See you in the next tutorial.